When today, I just went out. Uh, I just went and went to the store real quick. I had to run up to the border up there to Michigan real quick and back. And on my way back, it's pretty windy out. Meaning, as you're driving down the road, the wind's actually pushing the car, you know, to one side. Uh, so I made it to Michigan. On my way back, I'm coming down number 9, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes this camouflaged. I don't know what it was. It looked like a tent or a blind, just kind of ripped up and just blowing all in the wind. Come across the road, almost hit my car. Thank God. And then it blew and hit the one of the signs that were on the side of the road. I mean, it actually lifted up in the air like a tornado took it, and it just come across the road. So, you know me, good God, that could have killed somebody. If it would have came down and hit the car or whatever, someone would have panicked and swerved off the road. And after it came down and I swerved not to hit it in front of me, literally like the movie Tornado, it got caught by a speeding sign or whatever it was, a yield sign, and wrapped around that. So I pulled over and grabbed it. Where it came from, I have no idea. Probably off out of the field somewhere, out of the woods out there on old number 9. And, it is windier than heck. The car was all over the place. There's stuff blowing all over. Now it's starting to snow and sleet. So this thing almost hit me out of nowhere. It came out of the woods or out of the field somewhere across the. It could have been in someone's backyard, but it looks like it's a, to me it's a blind for hunting or whatever. And you know what? I'll show it to you, and I'll go back in that area, and I'll ask people after this storm or whatever, the weather clears up, did you guys lose a blind out in the woods? The thing just come right out of the from I was just driving down the road, and all of a sudden I could see this thing, and it looked like it was just floating in the air. I'm like, what? My God, it's a spaceship. It was camouflaged. And that thing just came, it flew up out of the yard or out of the woods. I don't know if it was in a yard or not, but there was trees. I couldn't see it on one side. So it just blew up out of there. I was like, holy crap, what is that? And wouldn't you happen, just as I'm coming past the area where it's just blowing in the air, the thing makes a dive towards my car and comes across the road. And, phew, God. Anyways, the thing hit the yield sign, or either it was a yield sign or a speeding sign, wrapped around that, and then started going down into this big ravine. So I was like, I better get it, because if that thing blows across the other side of the road where there was another road, it's like old number 9, it's like a highway, uh it could hurt somebody. So I stopped, unwrapped it from the um street sign, and pulled it out of the ravine, and it was bigger than what I thought. And it had these, it's like a tent, but it's camouflaged, small, I don't know, 5 by 5 tent or whatever, uh, blind or whatever, maybe 6 foot by whatever, I don't know. I'm glad it didn't hit my car, because I just had my car repainted a while back after that idiot or whoever it was piece of glass flew off their back of their car, or a box of bolts or whatever he said. I don't know. But it is windy out and it is storming. Well, it ain't storming. But I'll show you what it was. I was like, it's got to be it looks like it's a blind to me. It said Grizzly something on it. So it's probably a blind. I used to have one before. But it's ripped on one side. So the wind really did a damage. And there is branches all in the parking lot out here and everything. So it was pretty windy, but it flipped me. I thought it was a spaceship. I really did. I was looking. I'm like, my God, it looks like it's. What is it? I was going to pull over just to see what it was because from a distance, a little bit, uh, it looked like some kind of an alien ship. It flipped me out because I'm just driving. Next thing I know, I hear this thing come blowing across the thing, or see it. Didn't hear it. My windows are up. It's cold out. Let's see if I can get enough cord to see. You know, I pulled it out of my trunk and set it on the ground out here. And the dang thing actually picked right up and started blowing away again from the dang wind. Something, I'll tell you that. It's definitely a blind, hunting blind. It had to come from the woods out there. Look at it. It's got a rip down the backside there. So the wind got a hold of it, tore it up, tore up the top of it, tore up the top of it. Snapped the fiberglass. Yeah, the wind just wants to grab it and take it. Yeah, it's definitely a blind. I'm gonna have to try and take it apart so it can bring it in so it don't blow away. Now, if that would have hit my car, I didn't know there was fiberglass rods in it. I had no idea there was fiberglass rods in it. If that would have hit my car, it definitely would have scratched it all up, possibly dented it. But it is ripped at the top, so the wind got a hold of it and just picked it up and shredded it. But you know what? That is fixable. No problem. Is it fixable? Sure, it's fixable. Get yourself a needle, some heavy duty thing. You could take a shoelace, leather shoelace or something, and lace it all up, or sew it up or whatever. It's fixable, but it does have a rip down the side of it. So the wind did get a hold of it. Thank God it didn't hit my car because it would have scratched it all up, if not dented it from the how fast it was going. So yeah, come out of nowhere. It just poop. I'm telling you, I thought it was an alien. I really did. I seen it blowing. It was just hovering by itself. I was like, "What the heck?" And it come right down. Just as I was coming up to that area, just I'm like, "It's landing." Nope, it was that thing. It had to come out of the woods out there because it's all woods out here, hunting season and everything. So it actually had to pick it up from the woods, probably. Or maybe someone lives behind that tree line and it came out of their yard or something. But yeah, I was like, holy crap. So that's what it was. And I thought it was just at first when it came across and the road, it changed shapes. And I was like, oh, it's a piece of fabric or something, you know. But I didn't know it had rods in it until they were fiberglass rod. That's probably why it shifted or changed shape when it hit the ground and came across the. I thought it was like a piece of cloth because it folded in and everything. But nope, there's fiberglass rods in it, and that probably would have scratched up my car severely if it would have hit my car. And it was just an accident waiting for someone else. So I grabbed it and threw it in the back of my car. I could barely get it in the back of the car. It was so windy, it was just trying to blow it all. I didn't know it collapsed in the one area, so I just jumped on it. But I'll drive back down 09. Maybe I'll stop. There was a house in the back distance. It could have came from it could have came from Illinois and just dropped there. You ever think of that, people? I wasn't thinking there was a tornado. And the winds last night in Illinois, that thing could have came all the way from Illinois. Anybody watching it? Is it possible? It's very possible. That thing came from all the way in Illinois, and that tornado and system dropped today. It's still windy out, and it's getting dark back there. They are calling for rain today and high winds. High winds, rain, and possibly turning to snow and a sleet. So we ain't out of the neck of the woods yet. Whenever you got rain, snow, that means it's not cold enough to snow, so it rains, and then all of a sudden them two conversions meet up against each other, and then boom, you got tornadoes or bad weather or whatever. I think they're saying next week is supposed to be up in the 50s or 60s. So it might be, we might have to go through this again next week or whatever with these storms. But hey, what the heck? Why not? So there it is. If you're watching YouTube or anything and you're missing a blind, leave a message on my thingamajigger. And it is damaged. I caught something and ripped it. So, but that is fixable. You can get a needle and a thread and sew it right up. No problems. So if no one claims it, I might throw it away because I don't have a needle and thread. I don't think. I'd have to check around or ask one of these old ladies around here. You wouldn't happen to have a needle and thread, black or green or brown, because that's the colors that's on it. And then sew it up and see if it's reusable. I'm sure it is. I'm sure you can DIY anything. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll bring it in here tonight and set it up right here in my front room. Huh? Huh? And do a show from the blind, the hunting blind. I don't know, but I'm going to drive around with this wind we're having. It's no joke. It's pretty windy out. I think they're saying gust up to 45 or something like that. 50 miles an hour or something like that. And the winds last night that came through were pretty bad. I'm going to drive around town. Good God, it's better than going to a swap meet. But it's free. Who knows? I'm out here in the boonies in the woods. So there might be someone, in a subdivision all the way on the other side of town. Their stuff end up all the way on the other side of town. Everybody's going, it's Christmas. Thank you, God. No, but I had to take it because it was going to jump again. One part of it got hooked on the stop, the sign, and the wind was shifting and blowing it back into the lane. And then the wind would shift and blow it back towards the ravine that went down, and then there's the road on the other side. So if you're anywhere in the United States and you lost a blind in this storm, there it is. Oop, there it is. Oop, there it is. Oh boy, it's soaking wet too and stinks like maybe it was in a river or a lake or something. Might hose it down first before I do anything with it. Definitely before I put it back in my car. Thing was priced somewhere in a lake somewhere. Who knows? Probably in Illinois. Ended up all the way out here. What do you guys think? Is it possible for them to have a tornado in Illinois? It came right through here last night. Thank God we didn't get a tornado. The winds were high, but no tornado here. Do you think it's possible for it was picked up in Illinois where that tornado came and hit, or down south, and it landed here? Is that a chance? Do you guys know anything about weather? I'll tell you if there's a chance that could happen, where in maybe Arkansas or Illinois or something, these storms came through last night. The wind was just right, picked it up from all the way out there and dropped it in Indiana. Is it possible, folks? Leave comments if you want. Does any of you people think it is possible? Uncle Ted called. Matter of fact, I watched Uncle Ted this morning. He was playing the guitar, but he just got done vacuuming his whole house and the dogs and everything. He said he broke his vacuum cleaner and he had to blow the vacuum cleaner out today to fix it and everything. And oh God, it's just a mess. I don't know. There's your blind, Uncle Ted. I'm gonna try and fix it. It's got a rip in the side of it and a rip on the top of it. So I might try and sew it up or patch it up, duct tape from the inside so you only see the camouflage from the duct tape. Fixes anything. I'll have to check, see if I got some duct tape. If not, have to sew it up. Have to sew it up. It still pops open. It looks exactly like a blind. It still pops open and looks like a blind, but you could tell the wind was strong. It ripped the straps off of it to keep it strapped into the ground. It looks like it's shredded them, but that's fixable too. You sew something onto or wrap something around the fiberglass pole or whatever. Anything is fixable pretty much when it comes to something like that, a duck blind or something like that. You can fix it to get away with using it again. It is ripped up. One of the fiberglass poles are shredded at the top because it folded itself in half and around that yield sign or whatever it was, speeding sign. There you go, folks. I know there's probably people watching this right now. He stalled it. No, I didn't. I ain't got no place to put that giant ass thing, so why would I say? The only reason I stopped and grabbed it, because for one, it almost hit my car, and it was a endangerment to other people. Because if the wind would have caught it again, sent it up, it would have came down somewhere on the road, possibly hitting somebody. Because it came right out of nowhere from me. It just came across the field, hovering by itself up in the air. I was like, yeah, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. It's got to be an alien. That's what I thought. It's an actual ship. I'm like, yeah, it ain't the weather. It's the aliens. But then once it hit and folded and went across the road and across the ravine or whatever that separates I knew it was something. It was something. And I guess that's what it is some kind of a blind. I ain't worried about it though. There it is if you need it. Get it out of here. I don't need it. I ain't got room for it. Other than that, I thought it was the end of time. That's what I thought. Bendejo, you know anything about them duck blinds? Or whoever's watching? They collapse because I can't keep it. The wind's going to grab it and it'll take off again. I took it out of my car and set it down. It popped open by itself. I set it down and sure crap, the wind picked it right up and took it out into the parking lot. I can hear it blowing around out there, hitting the siding. So I'm gonna drive around town, see what else is there. Hopefully, there's a house, no one in it, and a Lamborghini with a woman in it. Compliments of Arkansas or Illinois. It can't be Uncle Ted's, Bendejo. For the simple reason Uncle Ted's up in Michigan. The storm that came through last night came from the south, heading northeast. It came up into Indiana, all the way up into or Illinois. It was a big wave. It was coming east, but then the wind shifted, started heading up north a little bit. So it couldn't have come from Uncle Ted's. He's out in Michigan out there. If anything, if it picked it up from Uncle Ted's, it would have took it up into Canada and stuff. Alaska or whatever. Canada. Yeah, Canada, I think, is up there. So wherever it came from down south. It had to have. Because the road I'm driving is an old 9, and I just passed the tractor supply out there on 9, and it's nothing but trees on the side and farm field, and that's it. I don't know if it was a shed or something, but I could see something that looked like past the tree line. Might have been a house or something. I don't know, but mainly it's just farmland and woods out there on old number 9 out there heading towards Michigan. So it came wherever it came from. It had to come from down south and came back up. Possibly Illinois, because when the storm did come through, it came through in a wave heading east, and then once it got so far, it started heading up north from the south. Excuse me. I don't know. What do you do? I have no idea. Maybe I'll bring it in tonight, set it up in here in the front room. I should take the hose and spray it off real quick before it gets too cold. I don't want it to freeze. Bendejo, I had to go to the store real quick. Before tonight, because tonight they're saying it's supposed to turn to snow and sleet. So I went and did what I had to do real quick before that. And now I'm back home. And now I don't have to go back out tonight or do anything. It came from this Texas place out in Texas. Yeah, but there was no storms from Texas. The storms weren't created, I don't think, until like Arkansas or something like that, or Oklahoma or something. I don't know where they came across. Maybe they started out. I don't know. Could have been. Who knows? Uncle Ted, I'll trade it. I'll give it back to you for one of your bird lands. I'll gladly give you this blind back for one of your bird lands. Son of a gun, if I didn't wake up this morning, turn on YouTube, and there was Uncle Ted playing his 68, I think it was a 68, Gibson Birdland, just cranking out all them licks. The life he's got. He's got a smile on his face. He's got no worries, he says. But when you got money like that, you ain't got much worries. Would you guys agree? You ain't got too many worries. Oh, good old crap. Man, I'll tell you what. I touched that thing. Hold on. Let me wipe my hands off. I touched that thing. My hands smell like a swamp or something, or like rain, like how it went before it rains and storms or whatever, you get that smell. It could be from Texas, Pendejo. I don't know. I'll have to go back and see where these storms are. I didn't pick up the storms until they were getting close to Illinois. Then I went live with a bad weather thing. People be safe. There's tornadoes, warnings out, and bad weather. And so who knows? It could have. Who knows where it came from? It stinks. I know that. So I'm going to have to spray it down or whatever. See if I can fix it. Hey, a free blind. You can always use a free blind. Who knows where it came from? All I know is I saved the next guy. Now, I'm telling you right now, if that would have hit my car, it would have probably, the speed I was going, I was doing probably 60. And I don't know how fast that thing was coming at me. But if it would have hit my car, it probably would have scratched my. Thank God I swerved and just missed it, because it definitely would have hit my. It definitely would have messed up my. I didn't know at first that there was fiberglass rods in it. I thought it was just a piece of fabric, but there's fiberglass rods in it. So if that would have hit my car, it would have damaged it, and I just had my car all redone. Everything looks beautiful. No, I didn't get in an accident. Didn't, have any dents or nothing. I just had the car repainted. That's it. Just had the car repainted. Still drives. Beautiful. Everything's beautiful in it. I just had the whole car reshot. And got silver, diamond burst, or whatever it is. She shines in the sun. It's a 2015 SE. And when I bought it, it had 20,000 miles on it, I think. That was, it's almost paid for 6 years ago, 5 years ago, or whatever. And I only got, I think it just hit 60,000 miles on it. It's clean. No rips in it. No cigarette burns in the. She's clean. I keep her clean. I know a lot of people are saying it's a 2015 and you're just hitting 60,000 miles. Yeah. She's just getting broke in at 60,000. Matter of fact, my Ford guy called. I got to get my transmission done now. I have to have it flushed. It hit that mark where got to get the transmission filter changed and get it flushed out. All the transmission fluid changed. They might as well change the oil when they do that. I told them I'll probably be in after winter here. It's first thing spring. But she's just about paid off, boys. I'm determining what should I get, another hot rod or use my head, and might as well get me another small piece of property in the home. After that, if I get a good enough deal on it, maybe get another vehicle, probably a truck with a plow. Used, not a brand new truck, used. I don't buy new. Like I said, the car I got looked beautiful, but some guy, either from what he said, his back window blew out of his truck, his pickup truck, and it came into our lane, and it hit one other car, and it hit my car. But when it hit the car in front of me, it shattered whatever it was, if it was glass or if it was a box of screws. I'm not sure what it was, but when it hit the car in front of me, it rained down glass or nuts and bolts or whatever it was on my car as I was doing 60. And as soon as I got out of the car, I was like, no, I don't see no dents, but all over the top of the car. And my windshield had the windshield had a crack in it, and there was gouges in the top of my hood, the top of the roof of the car, all the way down the back of it. Literally dug into the aluminum, because most of that Ford Fusion SE is aluminum. So is the hood on it. It just dug into it and peeled away the steel. And when I took it right away, because the guy pulled over in front of me that was hit before me, and he pulled over, so I pulled over behind him. I was like, what the heck was that? And he said, I don't know. It was something that flew from the other side of the road from someone else's vehicle, and it came down on his. He hit it, and it exploded, and I was behind him, and it just rained down on my car. And so there was a body shop right down the street from where it happened. I went there right away. And I was like, look at this. And the guy's like, what the heck? I'm like, no, it didn't dent anything. It just, look at the paint job and the aluminum. Like, it's like if somebody took a metal cutter, an electric metal cutter, where it makes a real thin strip and it rolls the strip up. That's actually what happened to the hood of my car. Where the underneath, where you got to lift up the hood to get to the engine, the motor. That's what it did to my the front of my car. And the guy's like, what happened? I'm like, some guy in front of me hit something. I don't know what it was. Either it was a box of screws, because it just sounded like it was raining metal or something on my car. Or something happened where someone threw a box of screws out at the guy's window or whatever. It hit his car, and I was behind him, and it just rained down on my car. So a couple days went by, and I went back there to get an estimate. And I pulled in there, and the guy said, you're not going to believe it. I said, what? He said, the guy brought his car here or his truck, that caused that. He said his back window or something blew out of his truck going down 20. And I said, what color was it? And he told me. I said, I think that was it. I think so, because as we came up on it, as he came right up on us, that's when it all happened. And, it hit the car in front of me, and he exploded whatever it was, whether it was the windshield or back window or whatever. And he's like, yeah, the truck's here. And the guy said, he's sorry and everything, and call his insurance or whatever, and they'll, fix it and everything. You got insurance? I was like, yeah, I got a loan on the car. I got to have full coverage on it. The car is almost paid off, but so they got me a brand new hood, and reshot the whole car. Same color, but I told them, put a little more metal flake in it so it shines, gets that diamond shine to it. No, I didn't hit nobody. They hit me, and I thought I was screwed. Because when I called my insurance, I'm like, ma'am, I got to make a claim or something because, right away they're like, did you hit somebody or somebody hit you? And I was like, yeah, no, I didn't hit nobody. I was just driving down the road, explain the story to her. And I said, I hope I'm covered for that. And she goes, oh, yeah, you're covered. It wasn't your fault at all. And give us the guy's number or whatever. Or, you don't even have to do that. We'll cover it because you got full coverage. And I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, oh, don't worry about it. It wasn't your fault. You didn't, you know. Uh, so yeah, that was another freaky situation because I was just driving. I didn't even see it happen in front of me. All I heard was it sounded like it was raining rocks on my car. And I couldn't see what it was. I was like, it was just going, pulled over. And as they took the hood off of the car, from what the body guy said, he found chunks of glass from whatever it was. So he got 3 cars that day at his shop. The vehicle that the window blew out of, the back window blew out of, the vehicle that the windshield hit, and then my vehicle from the shrapnel from the windshield or the back window of the truck. That was a good day for him, he said, because all 3 of us brought our vehicles to his shop. Yeah, he said that was a good day. All 3 people showed up to get estimates at his shop that it happened to. Thank God the insurance company did everything, but she's painted. Wasn't in no accident or anything like that or anything. I just had the car repainted. Well, they gave me a brand new hood. They gave me a brand new hood and a brand new front clip, which they could have fixed. But my insurance company said, you might as well get a brand new one. You don't want it to get painted. And the next thing you know, the paint starts peeling on it. I'm like, is it going to cost me anything more? No, you didn't, it wasn't your fault. It's not. No, give me the brand new one. So I got a brand new front clip, which I think I got the old one because there was nothing wrong with it except for scratches and stuff on it. And I got a brand new hood, which I got the hood in my shed, which actually could probably be repaired if somebody knows what they're doing. A good body guy. I bet you I can fix it, repaint it. I might do that. I might fix that hood, repaint it with a design on the front of it, on the hood. Kramer 1, in a straight line down the hood. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that was a great day for him. Bad day for me because it took a week for my car to get done. So it was bad and it was good. And then I got it home. It looked beautiful. Beautiful. And then some idiot scratched it in my parking lot. Had to get that buffed out. Oh, man. Sometimes I feel like Swayze in Roadhouse when he has that Riviera with the eyelid headlights in it. I might just fold that. The way that thing stinks, I might just fold it up, throw it in the dang garbage. It is fixable, but what am I going to do with it? I ain't got no room here. I don't think. Well, these storms could pay off for some of us. Early Christmas, drive around town, see whatever this storm picked up from down south. Hopefully, I find a 1970 Barracuda with a Hemi in it. So, if anybody in town here is missing a blind, I got it. Almost hit my car. It didn't. So you're safe on that, because whoever claimed it, if it did hit my car, I'd be like, yeah, you got insurance? Because we're going to have to get this car fixed. But thank God I didn't hit it. And thank God it didn't do any damage to my car. That dang car just about paid off. Got something in the mail yesterday. Oh, boy. Let me see what she says. She's getting down there. And the lights. Yeah, she is almost paid off. Lord have mercy. I mean, I'm down to so much where if I make a couple double payments, she's getting there. And the lights all went down in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is the place I want to go. Not really, but why not? Well, I'm reading this to see what's up. I think I got a year left to pay on this car and I'm done. I think so. Unless I make double payments on it, then it might be faster than that. But 1 year at a time, I believe so. I'm trying to look to see when it began. I'll have to look at the paperwork I got for purchase when I did first purchase it. But I believe it's only like a year, something like that. Where the lights went down in Massachusetts. All right, folks. If anybody's missing a duck blind somewhere around here, I got it. Anyone in town? Anybody in Howell? Anybody, I believe it, LaGrange. It happened right after Howell over there by the Tractor Supply. It's nothing but fields. Who knows? It could have came from Texas. It could have came from Illinois. Or it could have came right from in town here and it just lifted up out of somebody's yard. I doubt it. It was probably in the woods somewhere. That's what I'm guessing. It was probably in the woods somewhere. And the wind grabbed it and actually ripped the stakes right out of it and took it and deposited it right in front of me. No, actually, I think the car in front of me seen it too, but it didn't start coming down until that car passed. All right, guys, I'll be back. I got some things to do around here. Good golly, Miss Molly. And then wait for the storm tonight. I might film that. Other than that, I hope everybody's doing good out in Texas, Illinois, or not Texas, Kentucky, Arkansas. I think it was a tornado out there. Illinois. Yeah, I think there might have been one up in Michigan. I'm not sure. But hope everybody's okay. I think they said some people died. Hopefully not too many. And we got to start preparing for weather. Weather is a big thing. It can kill you. There's no doubt about it. You know, somehow the human body succumbs to weather. Cold, hot, dry, wet. Oh, boy. And I think that thing rubbed up against my sweatpants, and I might have to actually change my sweatpants. All right, you guys be safe. I'll be back later, and keep an eye on that weather. Like I said, tonight, I think they say this drizzle or rain that we're getting, aftermath of that windstorm, is supposed to turn to snow and sleet. And it's supposed to be 19 tonight or something like. It's supposed to be cold. So we went from 60 degrees to tonight is going to be 20 or below 20 degrees. So fast change, that fast. That's something bound was, something bound to happen with that. So we ain't out of the neck of the woods yet. They're saying snow, rain, possibly thunderstorms, maybe. Who knows? All right, you guys be safe. I'll be back later.